Welcome back to another episode of Maryland Urban Garden. Today on Maryland Urban Garden, we're going to talk about fertilizer. Like I said, today we're going to talk about fertilizer. I am a Maryland PFA, if you know what that means. I'm a Maryland Professional Fertilizer Applicator. I can put down fertilizer for private homes and businesses. If you don't have a PFA, a Maryland PFA, you still can put down fertilizer for your private home and your private garden. So, all plants have the essential makeup of NPK, which stands for nitrogen, phosphate, potassium. It's like a human not having a heart or a brain. If he doesn't have a heart or brain, a human will die. If a plant doesn't have NPK, it will die. There's other things that a plant needs, like iron and calcium and other things, but it's not essential for it to live. So, NPK stands for nitrogen, phosphate, potassium. How do you know how much you need for your own private garden? If you have a big business, you normally would take a soil sample, and you would send it away to a Maryland approved lab. Now, because it's called a Maryland approved lab, doesn't mean it's only in Maryland. It just means a lab that a Maryland will approve for you to send your soil sample away to. It'll come back and tell you how much nitrogen, phosphate, potassium your lawn or garden needs. Now, can you put down NPK all year round and other things? You can put lime in Maryland and you can put down potassium all year round in Maryland. But nitrogen and phosphate, there are certain days. I think the beginning day is November 16th until March 31st, I think, where it's called blackout days. You cannot put down phosphate and you cannot put the nitrogen down on the ground and those dates, those blackout dates. Also, if the ground is frozen before November 16th or frozen after March 31st, you cannot put down nitrogen or phosphate in the state of Maryland. So let's look at the back of a fertilizer container now. So this container says 15-5-10. What does 15-5-10 means? It has 0.15 of nitrogen, 0.5 of phosphate, and 0.10 of potassium. So it also has other things in this container like iron, 0.9 of iron in this, which is good for keeping plant leaves from getting yellow. So how would you know? You would have to see how much to put down. After you get a soil sample, you're also going to need to know like the square footage of your lawn or your garden, and you'd have to know by how much square footage, by how much you needed to put down for your garden. So let's look at one of my plants, and I'm going to talk more. I have this cantaloupe plant here, and in the beginning, a few leaves up here were turning yellow, but like everything that gets old gets yellow and dies eventually. That's just natural part of nature. But I started noticing today, I have some of the newer leaves, like this one, like this one, and there was another one I ripped off was getting yellow. I said something is not right, and I knew right away it needed iron. So today I went to the store, Home Depot, and I got some fertilizer, and we'll see. We'll see if this it's definitely not dead. This cantaloupe plant, as you see, it's definitely not dead. It's doing really well, but we'll see. We'll see if this fertilizer helps the plant, the leaves from getting yellow. So that's all about talking about fertilizer. Any questions? You can put in the comments.